All right, so we're going to try this again. There is a lot to unpack here. It's yeah, a very like multifaceted read. But I kind of kept going off track, and not like staying focused with like how I was trying to say things. So I like wrote down my notes. So hopefully I can stay on track this time and yeah, not ramble too much like I'm currently doing. Um, anyway, so the cards here, 1, 2, and 3, this pile right here represents either like you or the situation. That's pretty much this card. And then these two cards will kind of describe the personality of like the person or the nature of the situation. Now, these cards, that's my phone. Now these cards here, and I guess numbers wise, it doesn't matter. And these cards here, indicate like two potentials for the future. If they complement each other, it kind of indicates that the cards on the upper left lead to or like are kind of like the development for the cards on the upper right. Now, if they, how do I put, like if they don't really, if they don't really complement each other, then it indicates like two potential outcomes. However, if you were to take like no action, the card on the right, or not cards on the right hand side would be kind of like how things would naturally flow unless an action like takes place. So like there would need to be action for like the left, because those are possibilities for like an alternative action. And I like kind of wanted to say that before I even like start, just because kind of how your read goes. Like I said, it's like multifaceted. Now the cards here are kind of like spirit guides or like advice, assistance. I pulled from the Archangel deck, so it's kind of like spirits and or like spirit guides, or I mean, depending on like your religious background and beliefs, like archangels or whatever. But I don't know. Like I know different belief systems refer to that like differently. But anyway, it's like assistance with like making the right decision or what you should do, or kind of to help you move forward. But anyway, that's like your guides assisting you kind of thing. And then this pile here is kind of forces that are operating like beyond your control. Can be like referred to as like destiny, karma, but they're the energies that again are operating like outside of your control. So now to kind of get into it, because I know this is like a whole lot, and then so I'm gonna kind of put stuff to the side and just explain one pile at a time. Now, this Archangel tarot deck is like tarot cards, and these are oracle cards. So I'm getting off track. Stick to my notes. Okay. Anyway, so how I said this could describe either the like you or the situation. For your read, it's kind of both. So like the Two of Ariel represents like energy that like balance is vital. It can signify like having multiple jobs going on at once or several projects going on at once. A lot on the to-do list, and then kind of like taking a step back and like, is everything on the to-do list really necessary? Kind of thing. Also, it is about kind of like the key to like managing stress is like to play, making the situation more fun. An example that came to mind is like somebody like playing loud music and like jamming out while they vacuum. But anyway, it also indicates possible like career changes, which I think, or changes within a career. yeah, changes more within a career. And that kept coming up a lot throughout the reading. But it also, like, any changes should be looked at very carefully, and decisions being made should be like, decisions should be made very slowly, excuse me, and logically. Now, personality wise, that card, and I actually pulled actual tarot cards from the like original wider weight deck, so that way you can kind of get a different, see a different picture. Now, personality wise, it like indicates like a juggler, meaning juggling multiple like responsibilities or obligations, with kind of hope that it'll like pay off. But it's very much like that, taking on everything all at once because it like feels worth it. And kind of like someone who like agrees to carry like too much on their plate. So yeah, but it's not, it's like, because it's kind of like it'll help you get to your end goal, or like kind of help you to the finish line type of thing. So it's not like you're just like taking all of these responsibilities on for no reason. It's more or less like there is a reason. But okay, yeah, moving on. Anyway, so Queen of Michael, or Queen of Swords, that symbolizes like past experiences have prepared you for the situation that you know you're currently in, and as like a person, it indicates like a brilliant mind with great perceptive, courageous, who's like perceptive, courageous, analytical, very like cool, calm, and collected. Very much like able to like protect or care for people without draining your own energy. Doesn't let like you don't let emotions get the best of you. Like also able to like be yourself while still being in service to other people. And that might sound weird because that comes naturally to you. However, like it doesn't for a lot of people, like me, for example. Like, you know, I like love helping people, but like I'm kind of a mess. So even if I'm doing something to help someone else, I have to get like more into a professional mindset. Like it's more of like an on switch. Like I have to, yeah, like I said, like kind of get in a professional mindset in order to like help, because if I don't, like, you know, like I said, kind of a mess. Also with that, it's important to like, this also gives like, it also represents prioritizing like advancing in your career and getting things done over like love life. And throughout this whole read, it's very like career based or like work focused. And then it also indicates like, this is another important one that like keeps coming back up too, but giving others credit for good intentions rather than perfect actions. And that's important because, how do I put this? You're able to do a lot more than most. Like you're kind of on another level. So while you don't necessarily like resent other people for not like being able to do the whole thing, like it's more of kind of like accepting and acknowledging just the fact that like you're on another level, and some people like just aren't capable of doing things how you're able to, or as much as you are, or you know, like things aren't like this will pertain to like work probably a lot, and things probably aren't equal or fair, but that's because you're able to do a lot more, and mentally and like emotionally and like stability wise, yeah, not everybody essentially is on your level. But again, that'll come up more. But so giving others credit for good intentions rather than perfect actions. But keep that in mind. And then so Nine of Gabriel, that indicates like not giving up. So like courage, determination. It's like at an all-time, not really, not an all-time high. Sorry, I'm like talking rather than looking at my notes. I need to look at my notes. So don't give up. Your courage and determination is needed now more than ever. You have come a long way, and work has been important and valuable. Stand your ground and protect what you've created. You've already proven yourself, and your position is secure as long as you remain confident. Probably feel tired, and then I put like in parentheses, like exhausted, but not quite to the, you're not quite burnt out yet, although you probably feel like you're getting there. But this is the last challenging situation before success comes your way. Although, and I'm not sure, as I get into this more, I'm not sure if this situation is kind of currently happening or about to happen. That wasn't for me coming through, but anyway, challenging situation before success comes your way. Although you already are perceived as successful to others, so this must be like an internal like thing, how something with like you and success. But it could also indicate sticking with your plans. Now, this is interesting because the Nine of Wands, while these all tarot-wise represent essentially the same thing, because, you know, it's literally the same cards, just a different deck. The Nine of Wands indicates a different type of energy. So the Nine of Wands indicates like raw power. It symbolizes like an abundance of energy, feeling like feeling like you can like take on the world, your desire for your goal, but there's also like a desire for action. So it's not just like your desire, or like the energy is not just to reach your goal, but it's also like to do what it takes to reach your goal. Like it's a lot of like doing and action energy. And then I wanted to point out, because I had set aside time yesterday, like early morning, to do the reading, and it like didn't feel right. And then I set aside time late last night to do it, and when I sat down to do it, it like didn't feel right either. And so I did it like really early this morning when I pulled the cards. Granted, right now when I'm recording it, it's not early in the morning anymore, but when I did it, it was under the full moon. So the moon became like full moon energy really early this morning, and it technically like becomes like full moon at I think like 2 this afternoon, which ironically is like probably, you know, close to when I'm gonna get done filming this. So a lot of full moon energy, and I wanted to point that out because the full moon, depending on the person, it's very much that. It's either like a lack of energy, feeling drained, feeling like lethargic, or it's a lot of like action energy and like needing to do things and like all of that. So it's very, you know, the full moon is the full moon, but it encompasses kind of both energies, and it just, you know, depends on what's being utilized by who. And that's kind of what I was getting for you. It's like, you're not one or the other. It's kind of both. Like, yeah. And then also with the full moon, that kept coming up a lot as well. So, like the hyena, it's technically a full moon, yet there's still a dark side. And I'll get into the rest in a second. So, very much that. I also had wrote down that, if poor decisions are made during this time, like example, you know, taking a new job, or like getting married or something like that, it like you may not be able to like follow through with commitments that you've made during this time. So it's not necessarily like, you know, I guess no. Anyway, just, yeah, tidbit of information that I don't think then becomes too relevant. Okay, so then moving on. So these cards, and this is where it gets a little interesting. Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so like I said, it can indicate either taking one path or the other, or it could indicate it flowing. Now, I'll read kind of what's on the card before I like read my notes. So, a wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. So, I had written down a lot of the like Ace of Swords card or Ace of Michael insight that has previously eluded you shines upon the situation and or problem or issue. An opportunity to do things in an entirely new way. Give attention to the details in your own action plan, but keep an eye on the overall big picture. Look at the silver lining, don't give up. Intellectual clarity, divine inspiration. What you once were confused about, you now are not. And then I also put down, could be a bumpy start, but don't let that stop or deter you from moving forward. And then this card also can indicate a lot to do with like communication, and it can indicate communication energy. Although because this read to me at first indicated a lot about like work and stuff, I kind of neglected the communication part, which was funny because then like going more in depth into like other cards, I realized like, oh no, don't ignore that. And then the fact that I ignored it, I wrote down, don't allow misunderstandings to fester. Get to the truth of the matter. So to me, this was kind of symbolizing something that like communication wise, like something that like just isn't really a big deal because it just never got, I guess, discussed. It then kind of becomes a big deal. Not necessarily a big deal, but it's like, well, I'll move on to the next card. So the five of Gabriel, and I'll read this. A challenge you can resolve. Withdrawal from drama of others. Have patience with yourself and those around you. By the way, patience comes up a lot here. So, and typically it would indicate that like you need to have patience, which you do, but it's not so much of like you lack patience. It's kind of like what you're dealing with, you're gonna need a lot of patience for. So the Five of Wands is it's like a conflict card. However, okay, I got like this image in my head of like a puzzle. So like kind of the situation, like you have all of the pieces of the puzzle, like they're all there, and like you have what it takes to solve the puzzle. However, like you need to work with others in order to like quote unquote put all the pieces together. You need to like put together the puzzle like via compromise. Like it needs to be like a collaboration or like an overall like everybody hands on deck type of project. So like you have to find a way to resolve or solve the puzzle peacefully. So yes, like even though like you're able to do it, you can do it, you have all the pieces, it's not going to be effective, but like don't do it yourself. You need to work with others in order to do this. And kind of like stand back and look at like the overall big picture. And then I put listen carefully to others' viewpoints so you can withdraw from other people's drama like peacefully and gracefully. This also probably indicates like multiple like little stupid situations kind of like vying for your attention. And I also wrote down like petty drama. So this kind of was coming through about like just listen carefully to other people's viewpoints so you can withdraw from that peacefully. So it's not like you caring or getting involved. It's just kind of like, I'll move on. But anyway, so Five of Wands, like, it is a conflict card, or it's a trouble card. And so, to me though, this was like indicating like the fact that like conflict can happen when passion is like high. It can also just be a release of energy. So again, you know, and it could also just be like stubbornness to listen to the other side. Like, for example, some people just need their emotions to be validated, or some people just need to be heard, or have their ideas acknowledged. So like, you know, with the whole like paying attention and like listening to other people and working on that puzzle together, it like problems shouldn't like, you probably shouldn't ignore communication aspects. Oh, that was a note to myself. Me, probably don't ignore communication aspects of the other card. Sorry. So yeah, so that's when I went back and looked more into the communication side of that, and was like, okay, don't allow misunderstandings to fester, get to the truth of the matter. And then that's because, you know, there is probably a lot of like just passionate energy and needing to release, like passion, creative energy, but needing a release. So it's like petty drama can cause conflict, but it's not really like, you know, it shouldn't be a big deal kind of thing. And that's where it was, again, you know, some people, like when it comes to listening so you can like leave the situation peacefully, or like not have to deal with that shit, it's like, you know, some people just need their emotions validated, or need to be heard to have their ideas acknowledged. So it's not so much about like when it comes to, you know, like working on the project, or like all of this, that like you need help or anything, or you like need other people. It's more like they need to be included, and like you need to like allow them to feel included, kind of thing. Anyway, I don't really know what's going on, so this either will make sense to you or something, or this will make sense later. Again, I don't know if this is a current thing or will happen. But the wheel card, so new beginnings, end of delays, a change in direction that offers happiness. So exciting changes, prosperous new opportunity. If you had previously experienced difficulties, which clearly, excuse me, it's getting your plans off the ground. If you had previously experienced difficulty, like that will change. A very like sudden movement forward. Unexpected events point you in the direction of joy and fulfillment. It happens outside of your control. It's like the end of a phase and then beginning of another one. So like, and this is also fate leading the way. Now, and then this is kind of comes up a lot. Like I kept looking into things and like diving, but how each of the cards like kind of has like not kind of has numbers and stuff for like Five of Gabriel and all that. I was looking into the numerology of everything as well. I won't dive too much into that, but you had a lot of nines coming up, and then a lot of like ones and stuff coming up too, and then a lot of twos, which indicate like the end of a cycle, and then nines are like the ending, the completion of a cycle. The book I actually set my camera on is a numerology book, and sorry. And I actually, yeah, I'll just like read that part. But so 9, you're at a time of unfolding and completion. Your project has bloomed, and you are ready for a new beginning that will unfold. Never start a new project on a 9 cycle, but anticipate the new beginning you are about to launch. And so that was like something that I had found important that I wanted to point out. The other numerology stuff I found important, but I didn't feel the need to read it from a book. Okay. So, yep, left side. Then moving on to the right side, we have, the High Priestess card. So, powerful psychic insights, reflection, and meditation that provides valuable information. Be at peace. This is also a card that indicates, like your inner voice, feelings, wisdom through silence, kind of going within. Emotional situations provide insight. Aspects of current, and I do current because again, I don't know if this is actually current or if it's going to happen. Aspects of current situation that there are aspects of the current situation that you are unaware of. It is a time of reflection and meditation, but also you have to have faith that the events will unfold perfectly. Willingness to forgive, a lot of patience. So this kind of holds a lot. And again, because the cards are multifaceted, usually they will kind of bring forth a specific energy. This very much encompassed all of it. So it's definitely about having time and like going within and listening to your inner voice. Like, however, it also is, willingness to forgive. Part could be due to this petty stuff, but part could be something else. And then it's also like patience. Again, patience. But there are aspects of the current situation that you are unaware of. This is a very important thing. So, get into that in a moment. Then we have 8 of Ariel. So take great pride in your excellent work. Practice makes perfect. Consider getting additional education and or training. So then I had written kind of pretty much the same thing. Taking great pride in what you do. The energy, the effort, and the time you put into your work financially supports you. You feel rewarded. A good time for like learning, example, job training, back to school, seminars, etc. Like practice makes perfect type of energy here. And it also indicates like working because you love what you do. You're not like working for money. Money is a result of you working. Most people kind of, do that backwards. But this is a very much like you are financially rewarded for what you're doing because you love what you're doing, etc., etc. Ace of Ariel. This is a lucky card. And let's see. It's your lucky day. New resources of money, time, and or support. A change in job or a promotion. And I put lucky card. Money, time, resources cards like flow to you. A new business venture or career choice will be very successful. Bright prospects. So very lucky card. Now, you could be thinking that yes, these could make sense for it flowing. However, it could also be looked upon as, can I skip this petty shit and just kind of, take time and go within and, because either way, like whether you choose this or it naturally leads to this, like this is kind of like the route that like the energy's flowing. So it is kind of like, if I take the right actions, could I, just skip again this petty bullshit? Yes and no. Because when I get down to the energies working beyond your control, that's where this High Priestess card and some other cards come into play again. There is more going on that you are unaware of. So how the hyena has like part of the moon, like it's a full moon. It looks like you can see the whole moon, but you can't. There's still half of it that you can't see. And then just kind of that like white and black side. Like there's something else going on. So I was getting the vibe that, and this is kind of where my oracle cards come in a bit, that while yes, I'm sure you could take actions to avoid the pettiness, I think it would be more of a hindrance in the long run, because I think this might come out here where it's like petty bullshit, whereas if it comes out later, it could be more destructive, or more of a bigger issue. And again, that's where I went back to, like, I really that I like really went back to the whole don't ignore the communication there, or don't allow like misunderstandings to fester. Get to the truth of the matter, because if something goes ignored, even though it's like petty bullshit, or like it's something that's like not, it shouldn't be a big deal, but like it could be, like very much being patient and listening, like there's something, yeah. So anyway, so then I pulled these, and it was like, is this path like absolutely necessary? And then I was getting yes, yes, yes. And this card, it's very literal, like it just means yes. The hyena. So what the hyena symbolizes is when the hyena is balanced, it is like charming, witty, fun to be around. When it's out of balance, it's scrappy, petty, suspicious. It's like, so now just hyena energy. It's like the jokester, crowd pleaser. But below the surface, there are unfulfilled dreams that have yet to be realized. Relying on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Using jokes to hide or mask resentment, needs to take goals and feelings more seriously. To balance, so like the hyena, like to balance out the hyena, sobriety and or articulating your feelings, and talking about your wants and needs and feelings in a vulnerable way, rather than in a like, and I put quotations, expectation type of way. Because one, like everybody can talk about what they want and like, this is what I expect in life, but it's hard to be like, you know, vulnerable about it and be like, well, this is what I really like want. These are like my dreams and whatever kind of thing. And then I also put down, expectations are often planned resentments. And then I also wrote down, status can push people away while vulnerability can draw them in. I am not sure if the hyena represents somebody like work-wise, or because that comes up later, or there was something else that came up later, if it was kind of talking about, what do I want to say, like, how do I put that? If it was like talking about, like kind of like a natural instinct. So like, and you would know this, but it's kind of like if because if it comes down to, you know, like if you have more of a like sarcastic humor and like can't express yourself, and you use like jokes to like mask resentments, and that's like more of a like, you know, a gut reaction or like whatever, that would change things like quite a bit. But if this is like somebody else, then that would be like a whole other thing. So anyway, I'll like move on and then get back to that. So then okay, so and I don't need to pull the tarot cards for this because they all, like, there's not a huge difference there. Oh, I guess that one. Okay, this pile I will actually put those backwards. Okay, so this is kind of like spirits, guides, guardian angels, what they are helping you with. So the Chariot, determination and self-control, career advancement, acknowledgement of success by others. So they'll help you kind of like with determination, willpower, guides confirming to you that you have what it takes, stepping out of your comfort zone, move forward with joy and confidence. Will take balance, self-control, and hard work to move forward. You already have that skill set, but additional assistance with that will be provided. Help with allowing yourself to feel pride in what you've accomplished. I got the sense of like, because you could be such a perfectionist, things might like not feel ready, or like, you know, they are good enough, you should be confident, but like it doesn't like feel like perfect to you or something. It's more of, it's like if there's a hindrance of like doubt or something, it's kind of like pushing through that with like confidence. That could be it. Or it could just be like, sometimes people don't like bragging about themselves or like promoting themselves, and like they feel like cringy, and some people love attention, some people don't like it. It could be that one. I really wasn't sure kind of which way it was going about it. But again, this is like not yet. Like this is what they'll be helping you with after, because like again, this indicates more of the like moving on after like the step 9 kind of thing, after the cycle's been completed. It hasn't yet, but like this is helping complete it and then moving forward. So yeah, helping complete it and moving forward. Anyway, 7 of Gabriel. So and it says, stand up for what you believe in, have confidence, claim your own personal power. So confidently defending your actions, they're going to help with that. So even if, and this is where it gets back to like the communication thing, even if you're the minority, like you are right. Like you need to stand your ground. Like you are correct. There is an opportunity to learn a great deal from the situation. Might not seem like it, but there is. With the challenge that like is taking place or has taken place or is about to take place, ask yourself, and like your guides are helping with this, like, is the issue purely with those around me, or could it be an internal conflict that has that has manifested to help you grow and evolve, like claiming your own personal power? And this doesn't mean like you had anything to do with it. It's literally like an outward example of like internal conflict, and I don't know if that's for sure. Not that just kind of came through, so I was like, I'll write it down and say it. But yeah, claiming your personal power back, and again, like with the whole situation, like you are right. And that's where I was kind of okay, now that I'm looking more into it, because that's where I was like, could the like hyena card be like kind of, just a tactic that you do, but like reading that again, because that was about like claiming your power and like being confident in what you say, I'm thinking this is an outside person. This isn't you. So it's not an example of like a survival tactic or something like that. This is like different person. Okay, so anyway, 9 of Raphael. Make a wish, dreams become reality, a joyful time of life. And then pretty much like worries fade, fear diminish. Like they help you with this. Like they help you kind of like have fun, taking joy in the simple pleasures of life. Literally just like having joy, and any like worries and stuff like that, like it's just kind of, not like they help you just like get rid of that, release it. And then, okay, so now 7 of Michael. This is where I pulled my tarot cards in. The Archangel cards are great, but they're very gentle, whereas the old school tarot cards are a little more direct, I guess, or brash about it. All right, so there is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Review all the details. So again, this is like forces outside of your control. So as you can see in the 7 of Swords like tarot card, what that represents, somebody is like stealing some shit. like they be shady. Like the hyena, like literally shade from the moon. But anyway, I wrote down, someone has ulterior motives. You need to be cautious. Don't resort to doing things on your own, though. Working alone isn't a good idea. There's something you are missing. So this kind of gave me the inclination that maybe something with like this petty drama and why this is so prevalent is because when you don't ignore communication, and this also might not even be you, this will show itself. This will be realized here. So either one, all of the communication, or like not letting things fester, whatever this person is like neglecting to say, literally due to like, you know, either self-conscious or like whatever, like using, again, sarcasm to like mask either their resentments or like how they really feel. Like they're probably not intentionally doing that, but they are. So like petty drama might either get all that out in the open, or like listening and like kind of asking the right questions, even though it might seem like daunting and a waste of time. Said person, you know, if they're able to just like have their ideas acknowledged or their feelings validated, that might prevent like ulterior motives. Or, you know, if they're part of the fight, maybe whoever is, when, and this was my other thought, is when it talked about you being able to peacefully like not have to deal with the petty drama by like listening to like people's feelings and whatever. Whoever is involved in the petty drama and all that bullshit will be very aware of whoever this is. So whoever this person is, somebody else in the petty drama will understand that, and that could be why this is also symbolizing like don't work alone, because someone will be able to point that out to you. And then again, with like listening and being patient, like don't discredit that, because like, you know, whoever is pointing that out, like they might also be petty. I don't know, like I'm not sure of the situation, but like there's something that you'll overlook that like someone else will like catch on to. Yeah. So or even if you know who it is or something like that, maybe what they're doing you won't really know. And again, it might not be intentional. It might. I don't know. Regardless, like there's something that like is probably pretty dumb that, yeah, like, you know, isn't worth your time or attention. But to somebody else, it might be worth their time and attention, and they'll be aware of it and be able to inform you. Anyway, moving on. So, and again, these are all working like outside of your control. So, you know, having justice and then solutions, that's really promising, actually. That's a nice to know that comes after dealing with that bullshit. So justice, fight for justice and equality, rulings made in your favor, don't give up. So the situation that was previously unfair or unjust will be made right. So restoring balance between all the people involved. About to make amends, but in your favor, to put the challenge or the challenging situation behind you. This is a card of empowerment. Keep in mind that the situation you found yourself in, or that like you were having to deal with, also this hasn't happened yet, was partially created by previous choices you had made. Therefore, new choices can bring about new results. And I circled this because I wanted to put that made me think of if there was where did I write that down before? Oh, yeah. Is the issue purely with those around you, or could it be an external example of an internal conflict? That's what I kind of meant by that, like, choices thing. Like, so again, and then going back to the High Priestess card here, you know, a time of reflection and going within, powerful and psychic insights, that'll be something, you know, you will know. So, yeah, again, even like you might have nothing to do with the actual situation. It could be, and likely is, because, you know, it's came up more than once, an external example of an internal conflict. Okay, so then I also put kindness and justice must always be extended towards everyone involved. So, you know, being empathetic towards said hyena. But yeah, so all rulings and everything working out in your favor. Then we have solutions, and I put the Temperance card by it because Temperance is like literally like all about patience. So then solutions, success that comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. honestly, I put almost exactly that. But I put resolution, perfect balance, healing energy, and then I put success comes from and with compromise. Self-control and patience are needed. Consider ideas of others and try to see their point of view. Again, not that you need it, like you are right, like the, you know, like stand up, know yourself, all that. Like you're right in the situation. This is not about listening to others to like, because you need their help. It's listening to them for their sake, like having their emotions feel validated and having their ideas be like heard and acknowledged. So just want to keep that in mind. So when I'm talking about like consider ideas of others and try to see their point of view, it's not because like you were wrong, you weren't, you were right, you were probably in the minority, but like you were right. Oh, diversity of thought brings forth the strongest positive course of action. And then reconciliation. So, yeah, so I think that's kind of, you know, balancing that out. And then again, when it's balanced, it can be like charming, witty, fun to be around kind of thing. So, you know, bringing forth the strongest, all of that. So, yeah, and that's kind of where, and I just messed up all the cards, but, when it came to that petty conflict, avoiding it, where I was a little like nervous because it's like it will all unfold how it's supposed to. Like the guides are going to like help you with what you need help with. Like you're going to get to kind of the profitable, you know, like joyful, like, I mean, shit, even like the whole like dealing with petty shit ended in the wheel, which is literally like all abundance and like manifestation and, what do I want to say? Like just happiness, like exciting changes, like new opportunities, like all of that. And then, you know, the Ace of Ariel and Eight of Ariel, like it's about like literally the lucky card and like loving what you do, making a ton of money from loving what you do and like doing what you do. Like they all end like great. And you know, that will flow to that. But that's where I was a little like, ooh, try not to avoid that. Deal with the petty stuff so that way this isn't like super like detrimental kind of thing. Because regardless, you know, justice will be ruled in your favor. Solutions, like everything will be resolved. But it's a lot easier to deal with like, you know, petty bullshit than it is like having to deal with like a bigger situation that yes will just one's going to be more draining and require more time and energy than the other. So yeah, that's kind of where I was at. So I did then have these oracle cards that I pulled just because, you know, they're a little bit nicer. And I had pulled these for just kind of further insight. And as you can see, this is probably why I filmed it multiple times because I make a mess every time I do this. So... Oops. All right. So I have the birds of a feather. Sorry, birds of a feather card, and so this card symbolizes putting the we before me. So like it's very much everybody feeling like included and like I like want to really stress this. This is not like a you doing anything like wrong or incorrect or like anything like that. It's literally just, you know, like I don't really know what like petty shit like is going on or that you're gonna have to deal with, but it's really like a needing to just like feel included. And that's why I, like again had written down with the whole like conflict card, like it's not even about the problem. It's a lot of like new, passionate, exciting energy that literally like just needs to be released. Like it's just kind of, you know, the conflict's going to happen because there just needs to be a release of energy, and there's a lot of like passions are high right now. So yeah, it might be stupid, but like that's kind of, yeah, it's, you know, it's just kind of, it is what it is, you know. Like high priestess, like feelings are in balance, like mental stability, emotional stability. Yeah, not everybody is that. Most people are not that. And even just the like Two of Pentacles, like balanced and, or sorry, Two of Ariel, like being balanced and things like that. Like, yeah, most people aren't. So just, the Divine Matrix, this card is about how everything is like all intertwined, yet it's learning to kind of just like, not like let things flow, but like, allowing things to like happen with divine timing, I guess. Noticing like synchronicities, everything is like always intertwined, and trusting that things are like flowing and unfolding how they need to. Like intertwined, unfolding. I don't know if that makes sense, but like trusting that process. So like trusting that like everything is all connected and it's all unfolding how it's supposed to, and like trusting that yes, things are going to unfold how they will, or like, things will resolve. Like the universe has your back. Like it all is going in your favor. And I mean again, it's just kind of like, mentally, or not even mentally, just there's gonna be things that are a pain in the ass, but like you have a lot of like prosperity cards and like a lot of luck cards and a lot of like divine, like you have a lot of luck on your side. It's just, other people's shit you gotta deal with. It's probably not gonna be fun. Land in between. This is also, and this is where like nines kind of came back into play too, thinking of this as being the place between what was and what will be. So, I don't know how great you can see, but the land in between, kind of what was and what will be. So, some things are still in development and you kind of just have to wait. So that's kind of, like I said, with the 9 cycles completing, just kind of letting things unfold as they will. Whoops. And, yeah, so once things unfold as they will, because again, with that, some things are still in development and, just have to wait so things can evolve. Yeah, it's just kind of letting that happen. And I wonder to go, oh yeah, patience. Patience is a big thing again. I wanted to look back at my other tarot notes just to see, because I thought there was something else in relation to that. And oh, the wheel card. End of a phase and beginning of another. Like that will happen. But is that Queen? Oh, that could also end it. That might be what I was thinking about too. Like a lot of. No, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yep. Sorry. Oh, let it go card. So this is referring to like releasing like the pain, irritation, frustration, anything that was attached to said challenging situation, so that you can move into the lesson that it offers. So letting go of like the need. Oh, that's interesting. It's funny I wrote that. So how I was telling you like the whole thing about like you are right, and then like they're telling you like confidence, like stand your ground. Once the justice card played out and things like are ruled in your favor, or you know, unfold, and then after that the solutions play out, then let it go. And so like release the irritation, frustration, pain, so that you can move into the lesson that it offers. Let go of the need to be right after that. So like stand to it, and then once everything unfolds in your favor, then let it go. I don't know, I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, overall, obviously, like a lot with like something within the career field, something within work, and also, I mean, like financially at least, like that's gonna be great. I mean, like you like, yeah, that is definitely every card that you had, a lot of career-based cards, a lot of patience cards, a lot of yeah, just challenging situations, but like aren't like your fault or you're doing, and like you're in the right. It's just kind of like having to deal with. And then it's like an example of, you know, and I keep saying what I like had written down, but like an external example of an internal conflict. And then kind of the High Priestess card, you know, looking within, and, you know, taking a moment, being patient, and letting things unfold as they will. So, you know, like know that you are in the right, like don't, you know, stand your ground if need be, but also like, you know, if you choose to take that path, like just you know, listen to people, so that way you can, you know, not have to deal with that drama, like, and exit that whole process peacefully. Or, you know, if like you can't do that and you are like involved in some way, or like do have to deal with it, that like, you know, you're listening to people so that way they feel understood and validated and heard, rather than, you know, I guess engaging. But then, you know, if you try to skip that, and then, you know, the hyena does come out, and like something that, you know, someone does have ulterior motives, and like something is gonna like happen that's more, you know, not as like prevalent and like going on under the surface, and like might be more detrimental, like either way it will still be resolved, you'll still be prosperous, and then justice will happen, it will be ruled in your favor, solutions then will come, and like there will be a resolution. And the other thing is like there was no like hermit card, or like any card that like indicated like said person, said hyena, whatever, would, I don't know, be like voted off the island kind of thing. Like they still birds flock together. Like whatever happens, like they will then like balance themselves out. Like this isn't like a, you know, get rid of toxic people in your life type of thing. It's literally like, you know, they're a detriment to themselves too. So it's kind of like helping them overcome it and like balancing themselves out, and whatever. Like everybody will, it will unfold how it should, and work in everyone's favor. Just know that like when dealing with it, like you're right, or you know, whatever. Okay, well, I hope that was helpful. Sorry I ramble a lot, but yeah. All right, well, let me know if you have any questions, or if this was like way off base, or if this has happened, or the process, or hasn't happened yet, or whatever. But yeah, because I don't really know anything about what's going on other than what these had said. I'm also very curious. So yeah, all right. Talk to you later.